What I kind of want to talk about today, as you can tell from the thumbnail, we're going to talk about collecting as a whole. Not particularly just, SH Figuarts or anime brands, but collecting as a whole. Marvel Legends, Storm collectibles, stuff like that. Like, why do I? I'll go into a small little rant about why I collect, what got me into collecting, how I started on this trend. Are you an anime watcher or a movie watcher, and it got you into figure collecting, or did you read comics or manga to then go into the movies? Like, how that transition has gone from like anime to manga, but then manga to figures, or straight to figures, or did you buy a figure because you thought it was cool looking, and then was like, hey, that guy or that figure looks really dope. Like, where is that from? And you transition back. So that's kind of what we'll talk about, just a little bit. Pretty much a big portion of the stream today. But I wanted to start off first by asking you guys, like, really, are you enjoying the streams? Is every Friday too much? Not enough? Would you want to change the schedule in February for every other Friday? Are you guys interested in a different day? If you are here, leave it in the chat. If you're not, if you're catching the VOD, definitely leave me a comment. Like, I want to set these streams up and be as much interactive or for you guys if you're interested in what you guys want to talk about. Maybe we'll get to the point where you guys drive the streams. If you can't make every Friday, maybe every Friday's too much, we could pull back and maybe do every other Friday. So it's really what you guys want to do. That's my first piece of business here. My second one is I want to take a look at the Akaza coming out. It's the new SH Figuarts. So we'll flip to that real quick. Just a little piece of news. We do have Akaza. Hi. Hey, what's going on? How are you? The Sonic Tuber, what's going on? He looks nice. Yeah, he does. But oh man, my Instagram thing's really messed up, or unless he's just in a different aspect ratio. But here's Akaza. So he is the first villain in the SH Figuarts line. I don't mind this release. It's kind of unfortunate because everybody has done this release. BuzzMod's done it. You've got Figma's already done it. So like, to see Akaza, it was kind of telling, and it was not a surprise that this was the figure that was going to come out. Do I wish they would have done something different just to mix it up, to set themselves apart? Maybe do a Hashira or a demon, or one of the 12 Kizuki that they haven't done in other lines. But this was all right. I think it definitely looks better than the Figma. He is going to release July of 2025, so around my birthday, and pre-orders open February 3rd. And also with the Rengoku coming out, this was kind of a telltale sign that that's what was going to happen. But that's okay. I want the character. I'm interested, but at the same time, I'm like, I kind of wanted something special, something different. But yeah, we'll see. Action figure Admiral said he looks nice, dude. He looks good. I think he looks a lot better than the Figma, because the Figma had this weird, because it wasn't even like Max Factory that was doing it, which was really odd. So in Figma, owned by, I think it's Good Smile Company, they had Max Factory, which was a sub under Figma, make the like all the Slayers, the Demon Slayers. But then they had a different company, which I think was called Freeing. They did Akaza, so it wasn't done in the same way. It almost seemed like it was like a completely different like creator, because it was, but it almost seemed like a completely different line that didn't really match up one-to-one with the other Max Factory ones. And there was this weird cut in the stomach that kind of killed it for me, and I didn't go down this line. But I really enjoy this one. I don't understand why there's a seam right here, why they couldn't have done the seam somewhere else, or just did that maybe in one full piece as like a softer plastic. But he looks all right. The Sonic Tuber, I'm waiting for some more One Piece figures. Oh, me too, man. There's so many One Piece stuff coming out. We still got the official announcement for what is it? Usopp. We still got the official announcement for the East Blue version of oh my god, Sanji. He's coming. So I'm just waiting for those. I'd like to complete my, like, I love all the characters. Blackbeard's cool. He's coming. He'll be a bigger figure, about $220 figure. But I really want to be able to get all my Straw Hats. And then from there, like, a Buggy would be really cool. A Mihawk would be dope. But I really am concentrating and really want to get that crew filled out. That's what I'm more interested in. But I'm right behind you on that, the Sonic Tuber. I really want that as well. Lewis says, hi. What's up, Lewis? How are you? Action Figure Avenue says, right now, out of that line, I only have Tanjiro and Rengoku looking pretty nice. I have Nezuko, Tanjiro, and Giyu. Giyu is my favorite Hashira. I think he's pretty sweet. I will get the Rengoku. This guy I will pick up. I don't know if it would be eventually or if it would be down the line. It just really depends on when the release out comes and what else comes out in July. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think, what is it? It's, Toguro might come out in around July, I think, and that would impact when I get this one, because I've 100% went Toguro over this guy. So it's just really, really depends on what the release and what else is coming in inside July. But he looks pretty cool. I would expect him probably be around the $60 mark. I don't expect this guy to be cheap. Probably that $65 to $70, $69 mark. I would expect that. But he's got a weird hinge on his shoulder, so his shoulder's definitely showing hinge up there. It's bare, so it's kind of hard to tell. He's got some nice articulation. Demon Slayer ones have been pretty solid when it comes to articulation. That Tanjiro back there, he's actually on my shelf back here. I don't know if you guys can see him. He is actually very, very flexible. I don't have any problem putting him in any pose that I need him in to perform action or standing there or whatever. But so nice flexibility there. Again, just a flexibility pose, flat palm hands, nothing special. Same grinning face as the last photo. And we only get 3, which is really odd because usually they give us a lot more. We have this high kick. We have obviously his special pose from his attack. I can't remember the attack. And then of course this one. So I'm kind of worried on this. The only thing that's not telling with when they've only given in the official announcement July, you know, the pre-order dates are open and everything like that. They only give us 3 photos. That's pretty worrisome in my opinion. Let's go. Okay, so we kind of checked that off the box. Let's catch up with comments here. Lewis says, looks cool. I want to get Blackbeard. I'm excited. Oh yeah, Blackbeard looks sweet. He will be the same size as Kaido, I expect. Which I think he needs to be the same size as Kaido. It just kind of puts Kaido in a weird like spot of where he's at in scale wise. But I mean, you can't really go much bigger. I've actually held that Kaido in my hand. He's very heavy. And I like the change with the Blackbeard, how he's going to the soft goods. So it's pretty sweet. Lewis says he's excited. Actually, I'm excited for more out. Okay, excited for more out that line. Actually, Avenue, what line are you excited for more out of? Are you excited more for more One Piece? Are you excited for more Demon Slayer? What line are you talking about? Because we kind of had a two-folded conversation here. So I guess I'll just start, and you can kind of guys go along with the trend. From the thumbnail, you can tell manga, anime, figure, one always bleeds into another. It's not always, it's not always transitional. It's not, you know, always the same way. There's back, there's forth, there's forwards. And I wanted to talk about those 3 avenues. And whenever I say, you know, anime, we can also talk about the MCU movies. When we talk about manga, we could talk about comic books, you know, and stuff like that. So what's gotten you into collecting? How did you start? And I'll kind of tell my story. And if you guys want to chime in, we'll kind of go through yours. I'll kind of have those one-on-one conversations. I'll pick a few people out from the chat, and we'll kind of figure out what your story is, why you started collecting, what you collect, what do you look for in toy lines? Are you exclusive a particular line? Stuff like that. So that's kind of what I want to talk about, because I think it's very interesting when you talk to other collectors, because every story is vastly different, which I think is really cool. And I'll start with mine. Action Figure Avenue says, out of the Demon Slayer line. Yeah, for the Demon Slayer line, like, again, it's kind of like the same thing like I was telling Lewis about the One Piece stuff. Sorry, the Sonic Tuber. When I was talking to him about, it's like, I want to finish the Straw Hats. It's the exact same thing when it comes to, you know, if Bleach ever makes all the captains, I'd be interested in all the captains. The Ghetto 90, the Ghetto 13. I'd be interested in all the Akatsuki. They're starting to do that with Itachi and Pain, you know. And the same thing with Demon Slayer. I want all the Hashira. I have, like, you know, as an Zenitsu, you know, a Zenitsu and Inosuke are coming. They have to. They're, you know, two of the three main cast, or four if you want to count Nezuko. I just really am interested on the dynamic of what they're going to come out with, and I really want all the Hashira. You know, I want the Wind Hashira, the Snake, Mizuri, like all. I want all those so I can complete the Hashira. The Stone would be sick, especially what he's about to do in the anime. And no spoilers if you have read it or know what happens, but I got up to here, heard the announcement that the anime was not completing for like the next 2 years, doing two or three movies. I thought it was two, but it might be three, where they're taking the Infinity Saga and like breaking it out into movies. So that's gonna delay the inevitable release, kind of like what they did with Attack on Titan. They kind of just strung it out, and it seemed like it took forever to get to. So I already own the manga, and I read the whole thing. It was only 19 volumes, so I know what happened, so I know what to expect. So it's definitely going to be a different mindset into going from manga, know what happens beat to beat, but not seeing what the action actually unfolds on the screen, which I think will be really sick. And that's kind of why I did it. I was just like, I kind of need to know what happens. I can't wait 2 or 3 years. Jackson's here. What up? What up, Jackson? Thank you for being here. Okay, so this is, like I said, there's not going to be a lot of show and tell, but there's going to be a lot of tell. If there's anything you guys want me to look at, or new figure releases that I missed, there is, actually, I don't know if you guys were here last time, but we did talk about, or anybody was here last time, we did talk about the new Broly. It is the 40th anniversary. It is a reprint from the 2012, I think, or 2014. So it's an 11-year-old figure, repainted, coming out 40th anniversary reissue edition of the Dragon Ball Z legendary Super Saiyan Broly. He's up for pre-order now. Scheduled shipping is January of 2026, so we are a year out. So just want to put that out there if anybody's interested or needs a Broly for their collection. I know a lot of you guys have hooked me or hit me up on Instagram. It was like, I'm so excited for this. I can't wait. I would expect this one to come out in January, then the cooler to roll after that. I think they want to get through the pre-order process and figure out how many they need to make. Usually it's 6 to 8 months, 6 to 9 months between announcement and release. They're giving this guy a whole year because I think the quantity is going to be really high, and he's so much bigger than other figures. And I think what's going to tell is they're going to get through the Broly, then go straight into the cooler. I don't know when that's going to happen. I would imagine a 6-month gap, in my opinion. So if you're interested, Broly's out there. Just want to put that news out there. Okay, so let's talk about the story of why I started collecting and how I started, and what I collect. So as you guys have probably seen on my channel, I mainly cover Dragon Ball content. That's just kind of what is really close to my heart as a collecting or an anime or something I really enjoy as a kid. It's always been Dragon Ball. And with Dragon Ball, it started with me when I was younger. Getting off the bus, I had to put the VHS in to record it off of Toonami, and it was all that sketchy VHS quality. So that's how it started. That's how I found anime. It was through Dragon Ball Z. Like, I'm sure a lot of you out there around my age, if not, if you're a little younger, it might have been Naruto. And then I kind of stood with Dragon Ball pretty much all the way through. And then from there, I kind of shifted over to superheroes. Spider-Man, X-Men, Captain America, Hulk was a big one for me when I was younger. Just reading that and stuff. And, you know, with that, I never started with TV shows or live actions because there really was a handful of them. That was the cartoons for me. That was, you know, the animated series of Spider-Man, X-Men. So I was really excited for X-Men 97 to come out because we had the 1994 through 1996 series of X-Men, which was really, really cool. And that's kind of what sparked my entry into this hobby of collecting, and when it came down to, you know, just collecting what I collect in general. So I used to collect Funko Pops. Probably a lot of you that have been here for a while know that. I ended up getting to a point in my Funko Pop collection where it became one, like, I was so excited to get it, to there's too many, it's literally a wall in my house. So I ended up exiting that hobby pretty hard. And that thing, I collected everything from MCU. I had almost every single of the Dragon Ball Z. I had some Doctor Who. Like I said, MCU stuff, some comic book stuff like that. And I kind of made a hard exit from that. One time I went to hang out with my buddy Brad, and he had SH Figuarts. These were the OG ones, like the 1.0 bodies. You know, they look kind of bad now, but back then, man, when I saw them, I was like, these are really cool. And he's like, yeah, you can, you know, change out the faces, the hands, they're posable, they're really articulate, they're really cool. And it really took me a while to kind of get on board with them. Also, if you guys know and been here for a while, my first SH Figuarts was actually a Captain Ginyu. So the Captain Ginyu, I found it on GameStop. I think it was normally like a $65 figure, and at the time I was like, man, $65 for a figure, that seems kind of high. And so what I did is actually I got it on GameStop on sale for $30, and I was like, well, $30 if I hate it, you know, whatever. And dude, I fell in love with it. I got it in. I literally sat there and played with that thing like literally all day, just messing with the joints, seeing what poses I could get him, how flexible he was, and I was just blown away with like the build quality. And that really was like spoiled from the get-go, because Captain Ginyu not only was really well built whenever I got him, but it was the Dragon Ball line. It wasn't a Figma, it wasn't one of these cheaper brands, it wasn't an Anime Heroes, or it felt more toy than figure. And I classify those two very hard aligned for myself, and that's how I identify them. You know, the $20 toys is really what set it off for me, where it was like, I don't really want to collect toys, but collecting figures, I was able to put them in those like dynamic poses, have the effects pieces, because back then effects pieces didn't exist. It was all basically, you had to custom order it. Etsy. Can of Beams was a guy that we found, or I found out from my buddy Brad, that you could buy extras to add in because they didn't come with them. And it really unlocked a lot of potential when it came to these figures. And not only were they really well made, they were painted very nice. They were completely, in my opinion, 100% accurate to the anime. Something that I grew up with. Like something I sat down, you know, after school, recording off of VHS, like, and it brought it to my hands, and it was higher end. Like, it was a nice transition where I went from that Funko Pop collection down to like, I think I'm ready for a big boy collection, you know? And because these things aren't cheap. I mean, Goma is coming out, Dragon Ball, you know, he's like this big and he's $75. Like, these things aren't cheap when it comes down to it, but that's, you know, that's where the sacrifice or the control of collection or financial responsibility comes into play. And that's what I was ready for. I was ready to go on from getting the $10 Funko Pops. Plus, it wasn't only that, but also like the market got so hateful, so like competitive, and resell, and, you know, scalpers. Like, go to GameStop, you know, or Hot Topic at the time for exclusive. You walk up and the guy in front of you bought every single one of the exclusive because he thought it was going to sell for $100 rather than $10. And that really burnt me a lot. The chases were sucky because they would come out with, Ichigo's my favorite character, you guys know that. I still to this day do not have the masked version of Ichigo because everybody knows what a chase is, and they made it a chase, and it was really hard to get that chase and put it in your hands for a decent price. Even like places around where I'm at, there's a place called Vintage Stock. They got a whole case in. They took that one out and they knew what it was. They priced it at $80 right out of the box. Like, it's a retailer. So it really kind of sucked, and it kind of took the fun away from going out hunting and stuff like that. But that's kind of why I got away from that. And it really, having that Ginyu in my hands, and I think it was like, I tease a lot of, or I say a lot of times, my favorite figure of all time is the cooler. I love the cooler. I think it's groundbreaking, but there's a lot of me that overlooks the Ginyu Force, or the Captain Ginyu. Like, that was my first figure, and that's what started this whole endeavor. This is what started this endeavor. This is what, I turned the YouTube channel into. That's kind of where why I'm streaming, and found the crowd and the awesome people, the 70-some people that are in the Discord, the 1,700 people that are here on the channel, like the same thing, and that's what kind of started this whole for me. So if I really peel back the layers here, like, Ginyu might be my favorite figure because of everything that it started. It started the collection. It started, me deep diving into more anime and more manga and more figures, and kind of blew up the whole thing. Hey, what's going on, Person Exists? Sorry, going on a little bit of a rant here, kind of telling the story. How are you? Thanks for being here. And anyway, so kind of starting back from my childhood, whenever I stepped into the anime realm, that's where it started for me. I never read manga. Back when I was little, there were, I always thought they were comic books. They had the Dragon Ball Z individual issues, which I still have to this day, and it was interesting because I never made the correlation between what a manga actually was. Why was it backwards? Why was it, different than the comic books that I'm used to? Because, I grew up, with those 90s cartoons, and then that was an easy transition between, you like Spider-Man? Well, here's a Spider-Man comic. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So, it was an easier transition, and it's been a longer transition from, reading comics to, watching the shows to reading comics, because it was a 1-for-1. And manga back then, growing up, wasn't a big thing. It was really hard. You had to, watch all your anime on Toonami, or watch it on YouTube when YouTube first started. Like, it would post all the parts at a time. If you really wanted to go deeper than what was offered on Toonami, Tenchi Muyo, Gundam Wing, Dragon Ball Z, Reboot, like, there were so many on there. But if you wanted to go deeper, they made it really, really tough. So just starting with anime, that's how my story started. And just from there, enjoying, I'm pretty simple when it comes to stuff. I like fighting stuff. I usually stick to shonen, mainly. There's a few slice of life or comedies in here and there that I like, but I kind of like the comedy mixed in. I kind of like that whole MCU Marvel concept where it is a serious subject, but there's a splash of comedy. I don't really watch or like sitcom versions of a anime where it's more slice of life, more of a comedy based. I usually stick towards the shonen, so that's what I do. I watched the shonen. I started growing. I was like, hey man, I'm really interested in XYZ, and I would go out and I would try to find it, either stream it. And I think this is before Crunchyroll was a thing. So trying to figure out a place where it was finding it, and watching it back then, it wasn't as popular, as hip or cool at the time. So it was a lot harder to dive into those things. So that's pretty much my main platform when it was ingesting anime at the time. So, I would just watch anime. I wouldn't think of the figures, do all that. And then I, happened to go to that one afternoon to my buddy Brad's house, saw this incredible figure on his shelf, and then it just started straight into this endeavor that we're at now. It's an incredible story of unplanned events that just snowball into what we have now. And that's the great thing about this is the community that we have built here on YouTube, the friends that I have made along the way. I literally have met Mars out of just a whim over on Instagram. He was a fellow content creator, and I literally talk to him every week. And it's really cool, the connections that I never would have made if it wasn't for me picking up that first figure and creating this collection. So I kind of went from anime straight to figures. So that was the second step for me. You know, and really talking to you guys, you know, interacting with you guys in the Discord, seeing what you pick up, and I'm like, well, that's a cool figure. Why'd you pick this up? Well, I picked this up because it's related to this. And I'm like, oh, well, what's that? I go over here. I'm like, well, there's not an anime. There's a manga for it. So I'll read the manga, stuff like that. And like the transition between all that kind of stuff was really interesting. And I kind of got to the point where back then it was like rush order. Like, you guys know the infamous animation of like Dragon Ball Super. That was pretty hard in Dragon Ball Z as well, where it was like, I don't care what you do, just make it move and get it on TV as fast as possible. And that really suffered a lot with the quality. And that was pretty common in, you know, the 2000s, 2010s. And now it's such a cool medium to see that these studios, obviously there's, you know, with Mappa, there's the, you know, the work problems, but the quality and the time is a lot better than they used to get. You know, and that started the whole thing from anime to figure. Now I'm getting these figures. I'm like, hey, that's a cool figure. What's that from? Well, I can't watch it, so I'll go read it. And Demon Slayer was the same way. I kind of hinted at that. It's like, I watched Demon Slayer because people would not shut up on the internet. Everywhere you watched, if you were in part of any sort of community in anime, you'd heard about episode 19 of Demon Slayer. Well, what's this big thing with anime and Demon Slayer? Like, what's going on with this? And, you know, it's the episode with Tanjiro fights Ryu. And it's like, okay, that was cool. So now you catch up. Now you got months between. You know, and now we're almost in a 2-year thing where it's like, I don't want to wait. I want to know what happens. The manga's already done. I'll go buy it. So that's kind of where I'm at now. Like, I have dived quite a bit into manga lately. I would almost, for my time, and it's a lot, I don't know, there's something about sitting down and reading a manga. If you read it digitally, or you get the novels or the 3x1s or whatever you get, like, there's almost like a piece to it where everything's quiet, you're sitting there, you're reading, it's more relaxing. And that's kind of what I've gotten into a lot lately. I at least read 1 or 2 volumes of manga, usually a night. I just finished, was that today? No, yesterday I just caught up with volume 15 of Spy Family, not Spy Family, my gosh, of Sakamoto Days. You know, I was really excited for that one. I was excited for the anime to come out. I think it was like 2 months away. I was really interested. I got online and on Shonen Jump's app, and I read the first 2 chapters. I think that's what was free. And I'm like, okay, I'm digging this. I went out and I literally chased down all 15 volumes, and I speed ran through it. Like, I really enjoyed what they offered in that subject, where, like, I was like, okay, I gotta read this. I'm really enjoying the anime with Dawn to Dawn. I have all 10 volumes sitting back there. 11 comes out on Tuesday, and that's my next series I'm going to go through. So that's kind of my transition. I went from anime collecting the figures. Now I'm going collecting the figures, and now I'm collecting the manga, where to the point where I, like, literally, I don't know, you could probably see the shelf. Like, I had to buy another shelf. I had to get an entire shelf just to add to what I had, you know, in manga. And I kind of knew about manga. I owned all of Bleach and all of Naruto, all 72 volumes. 72? I think it's 72 and 74. So I owned both 74 volumes of Bleach, all 72 volumes of Naruto, plus the Hokage add-on. And, like, I never, you know, I read a couple of them. I thought they were more cool collecting pieces, but they weren't some passion of mine that like it is now. I really enjoy reading, taking that time, and having that peaceful corner of that, no matter if it takes me 30 minutes or an hour, depending on how chunky the volume is. That's why I enjoy, you know, and not only time like that, but I don't ever feel like I have the time to sit down and watch it, you know, binge anime like I used to. So that's kind of where I'm at now. One Piece has made that adventure to me, where I have watched all the way up to Thriller Bark. I really do enjoy One Piece for what it is. I just got to the point where I couldn't stand the laughs. There's too many episodes. There's a lot of filler, because that was back when there were, like, when they needed to give time for the mangaka to catch up, like Oda, they would do filler episodes that Toei would just kind of throw out. So it's hard to sift through. They're so intertwined. Where I've just took it upon myself. I think it was Black Friday. Found all the box sets that I needed on sale, and I jumped on them. I jumped on. I have all 4 boxes, or I had the first box already, and then I have the other 3 box sets. So I'm slowly reading through that. And kind of in a lull right now. I just finished Skypiea. I'm onto the Foxy fight, and I really put that off for 4 or 5 days. I really didn't want to read it. It's probably the worst volume that I've read. I do not like that character, Foxy, at all. I don't like that arc at all. Sorry for anybody that does. But I'm excited to catch up. And that's really, when I read manga, I try to start from the beginning because I really want to see what the differences are, or how drastically more violent it is, or toned down it is, or how it separates from the anime, because it is completely different. So I start with volume 1 and I'm going up. I'm trying, once I get past Thriller Bark where I am in the anime, dude, it will start rolling. That's exactly what happened with Demon Slayer. I read from volume 1, got all the way caught up, and the second I got caught up, I could not put that manga down, and I'm really enjoying it that way. And it's a different, if you've never read, something, the manga first, like, watching the anime and then reading the manga is one experience, but reading the manga and then watching the fights, like, watching the fights that you see that are kind of, sometimes manga's fights are really hard to follow, but watching those fights, like, transition into animation is almost something a lot more special. So I enjoy that transition. It's a different outlook to look at it. It does sometimes kill those super hype moments, because you see that moment in the manga and you have the whole jaw drop moment while you're reading it, and you kind of miss it with the music and the movement and the voice acting, and that really brings it all together. But an example, if it's a really good moment, Arlong Park arc, Nami asking Luffy for help against Arlong, puts the hat on her head, like, both times, watching it, reading it, got choked up. Like, if it's a really good moment, it's going to translate both, and I think that's a really cool opportunity to enjoy those moments or see how really special it is. And honestly, like, taking the manga, putting it in anime, and really how well Toei and the voice actors really nailed that moment was really cool. So that's kind of where I'm at. So in this process, in this whole crazy endeavor of where we are 4 years later, or however old this channel is, like, dude, I accidentally started a manga collection. It's insane. So I've got all of Sakamoto, like, pretty much everything is Sakamoto Days. I'm starting to collect Hunter x Hunter because I want to read that. I want to finish. I gotta finish collecting the volumes of Fire Punch. We got all the Dan to Dan. We're collecting JJK, even though I've read it all except for, like, the last 6 chapters. I was reading that digitally, by the way, and I was like, okay, when my month is up, I'm done reading it. Yeah, that was 6 like, that literally, I ended it, and then 6 chapters later it was over. So I still haven't read the last 6 chapters, which kind of irritates me. Then we got all of One Piece, or pretty much up to 90. So I'm missing like 15, 16 volumes of that. I got Berserk. My wife got me Berserk. I'm caught up on Chainsaw Man physically, and that's how I ingest it. I love the books. I get the single volumes. I don't really get the 3x1s. I know it saves money, but I don't like the paper quality, so that's why I collect. So, and then, I mean, that's, and that's what kind of got me into SH Figuarts. It's like, I got to take my anime and my manga that I really enjoy, those figures, put them into life, put them in my hands, bring them to life, and be able to pose them on my shelves. Now, I don't play with them. They're definitely a set it, forget it, put it on the shelf. And that's exact same, like, I started down the Mafex line. I don't know how far I'll go down. I wanted to get Daredevil. Daredevil is one of my favorite superheroes alongside Spider-Man in the Marvel Universe. And I have Cyclops. That's the other one I have. So I might get 3 or 4, play with them around, see if they're worth it, see if they have as quality as SH Figuarts. Because I know SH Figuarts, for what I collect, the Dragon Ball line, it's really solid. I know they're having issues. Like, I know Okarun is starting to have articulation issues. I've heard Momo's really bad. but that's okay. Like, that's not a line I'm going down. Honestly, like, I absolutely love the anime. I'm gonna start reading the manga. I cannot wait. Sakamoto Days is in the books. Now I want to get caught up on Dan to Dan, but I don't think I'm gonna do those. Like, I can't go down every aisle of every line. I'd love all JJK figures. I'm not gonna do that. I'd love Spy Family, because I really like Spy Family. I'd love Anna and a Bond, but I'm not gonna do that. We gotta be financially responsible, so I'm just definitely sticking with Dragon Ball. All right, so let's catch up on some comments, and if anybody else, please chime in and we'll explore your story. I mean, that's kind of what this whole thing's about. Like, you guys here chatting with me is awesome. I really appreciate you guys diving in. And again, like I said at the beginning of the stream, please leave a comment on this video. The VODs are up. If you want to keep doing this weekly stuff, if you can't keep up with the weekly and you want to go bi-weekly, please make your voice heard, what you guys want to do, and we'll do, you know, we'll cut back or we'll double down, whatever you guys want to do. Person who exists says, I'm doing good. Thought I wasn't going to be able to make it, but I did. Hey, person who exists, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. It's good to see your name in the chat. If you can't be here, I understand life kind of gets, you know, in the way. This week was a tough one. There was a lot going on. So, you know, there was basketball games, birthday parties, work was, you know, a little bit tough and stuff like that. So, you know, what is it doing? Sorry, I gotta mess with the songs. So, if there's anything that you guys are interested in sharing your stories, or what your favorite figure is, or, you know, do you read manga? Do you just watch anime? Do you just watch the MCU? Do you read Marvel comics? Like, sound off in the chat. I'm kind of interested in your stories. SH Figure Avenue says, what was your favorite Marvel team event? The crazy, you know, still got like a month, maybe a little less than a month before he comes to the Marvel Rivals. So I don't know if you're playing that, but Thing is coming in like a month, and I'm stoked. Johnny Storm, I just want a team of 4, like with all 4 of them. That would be super sick. Virgo says, I can't get into Deadpool, find his character annoying, but yeah, I'm with you with MCU fall off a cliff. Don't love Robert Downey Jr. returning. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to do a bad job. I think for what the MCU was, he was the shining point. And I'm okay if he would have made a return for Secret Wars or whatever and had that hurrah moment. But, like, I expect after Secret Wars, everything that came prior that doesn't go forward, like, I'm hoping, is it Charlie Cox? I think it's Charlie Cox, the guy that plays Matt Murdock in Daredevil. I hope he keeps going. I'm so excited for the show. I cannot explain how excited I am for that. March 4th, I will be binging that. I can't wait. You know, if Tom Holland's going to continue, I'm okay with that. But, like, Robert Downey, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, like the original 6, like, it's time. Just retire them, move them off into the ether when they, you know, create Battle World and it collapses on itself or whatever, makes the new Big Bang 616. Like, I'm good. Move on. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm over it, that to the point where it's like we're beating the dead horse. Plus, I really think Taika Waititi screwed up Thor real bad. I think he's ridiculous. He can't take him serious. I think his silliness kind of undercuts his power and his intimidation factor. I just don't think he's intimidating anymore. I think he's like goofy, and I don't think that works. And I understand if you want to mix up the character a little bit, or if you were sick of playing him, just walk away. It's fine. No big deal there. SH Figure Avenue says, I personally think there's not really any good tanks right now. So excited for if anybody tells us like what a good priced Wolverine yellow suit X-Men one is, let me know, or when it restocks. The last time it restocked it, I missed it. But I really want that one as well. Let's see. Let me see if I caught up here. And Burgo says, and more excited for X-Men 97 Season 2 and anything in the MCU. Would like an animated universe, bring back animated Spider-Man Hulk. Yeah, dude, I think I think because of the success of X-Men 97, I know there was the hang up with X-Men 97 because the head writer, I think that wrote at least 2 seasons, if not 3. Mayo is his last name. Since that whole firing, I think there's a little bit of turmoil, but I'm excited for number 2 because number 1 was so good, except for like the Jubilee Mojo episode. That was really bad in my opinion. But like, I'm excited that will spark like Spider-Man 98 and they bring that back, because I would be so excited. I don't know where the voice actor is for Spider-Man, what he's doing right now. Maybe he can come back, or maybe Yuri Lowenthal can do it or something. But that'd be really cool. I would dig that. X-Figure understood. Yeah, I was thinking that's what he would say. Yeah, for sure. He's got to say it's clobbering time. He's gotta have a voice line for when he activates it. Oh yeah, are you excited for the new Superman? The new Superman, I'm excited for the opportunity of what the DC can offer. I really liked Ben Affleck's Batman. I'm more of a Batman guy. That is my favorite superhero of all. Even out of Marvel, out of DC, like, Batman is my jam. So I'm not sure really, like, how this is gonna go. I like James Gunn. I think he does a really good job. I've liked the first and the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I think he's a talented director. I'm interested in the way he tells stories. And I'm excited for the new Superman because I do think it looks good. I think the guy looks really good. I'm excited to see Crypto. But I'm not the biggest Superman fan. I think he is very hard to tell stories because he is so overpowered that I think that's where, like, unless you're gonna do, like, bring Zod, fight him on the planet, do Dragon Ball Z fights on the planet, I just don't think, like, with that realm of how that's gonna go. Like, you know, I really wish they would dive more into the psychological side of Superman with Lex and how he balances. I really love Nick Holtz, I think is his name, for Lex Luthor. That's gonna be sick. But I'm more of a Batman fan. I really love it, so I can't wait. I know Muschietti, I think that's his name, the guy that directed the It movies. He's the director of the Batman movie, and he's also the one that directed the Batman fight scene in the Flash movie. So I was excited for that. That was really good. So I'm excited to see who they cast. Not that I didn't like him, Robert Pattinson, and I liked the movie a lot. I just want a more physically dominating Batman, kind of what Ben Affleck was. Like, I love that, other than literally made him murder 15 people, and that's not what he does. But it looks good, though. I will absolutely in July go see the new Superman movie. That will be a day one watch. Virgo says, okay, what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it feels like they go for more established movie stars instead of finding young and upcoming stars. Yeah, I mean, they didn't find Chris Hemsworth, you know. Robert Downey, when he came back as Iron Man, was coming back from, like, I'm pretty sure a burnout from Hollywood, you know, was seen as a drunk and had trouble with drugs and alcohol and all of that. And he came back and he established he was literally one of the biggest actors in the world right now because he's killing it. So, like, go back to your roots. Stop playing it so safe. Go out there. Like, I would have rather seen a younger actor or a different actor than Pedro Pascal get Mr. Fantastic. I was really disappointed in that, and that's nothing to go against him as an actor. Like, he's good. He's fine. I didn't really like him as Joel in Last of Us, in my opinion. But I would have liked to see somebody a little bit younger that could play Mr. Fantastic for longer. I don't know. That's just me. Virgo says the Batman was good, but I want a more comic book villain, Batman with supernatural villains, more like the vein of Batman the animated series. Yeah, like, I love me some Batman, and I love the grittiness and the ground level of Batman, but I love that, just not a bunch, but just that little touch of supernatural, that little bit of fantasy where Killer Croc is like a croc man that's 14 foot tall. Just a little bit. You don't have to go crazy and make it super kooky or anything, but Action Figure Avenue says, I've always liked DC more than the Marvel, and Batman is my favorite comic book character. Action Figure, that's why I knew I liked you. Batman's the best, man. That's okay. Like, I've got several buddies that are more DC fan, and this is where I describe DC and Marvel. Marvel has the quantity, like they have more good characters, but DC has the quality, like, you know, all A pluses. You know, you got Green Lantern. I mean, all three of them, Guy Gardner, Jon Stewart, and Hal Jordan, all A pluses. You get Superman A plus, Batman A plus. I really like the Flash if he's done right. Did not like the Ezra Miller run, A plus. So like that's where I like. Not every Marvel character is an A plus. Obviously, Spider-Man. You know, even like if we're talking before MCU guys, like Captain America, Iron Man were not that popular. Like they really weren't. But you know, Spider-Man, X-Men. Like those are A plus, but I definitely think DC has more. But I like both. I really do read both. Mainly Batman stuff and DC, but I have quite a few comic books. I really like honestly, I really like the whole Bat family. Nightwing, Batgirl. I like Batgirl better as Oracle, but I do like Batgirl. I've always liked DC more. Oh, I read that one. Brigo says, which is why I'm more excited for James Gunn Batman than the Batman 2. I'm excited for both. I really like the way they're doing their branding. I think it's straightforward of like, this is the DCU and this is the extended universe, like using the Black Label branding like they do on comic books and stuff. So I really like that. I mean, I'm honestly excited for both. I wouldn't say I'm more excited than the other. I would say I'm probably more excited for Matt Reeves' Batman 2, just because we know a little bit more about it. It's closer. The Penguin was decent. I wish there was a little bit more that happened in that TV show, but I did really like it, and I know what to expect. I'm excited for the Batman James Gunn version, but I'm really a little bit more hesitant because there's not a lot out, so it kind of scares me a little bit. But I'm excited for both. I don't think one could be less exciting than the other. Craft Collect says Batman didn't kill those people. They just kindly went to sleep really hard. I mean, dude, he was shooting them with like a Batmobile with guns. He threw a grenade back at somebody in their face. They're dead. Virgo says, have you read Absolute Batman? No, but I do have. They down here? Yep, here they are. Oh, this one? 2, 3, 4. Oh, here it is. Nope, but I got them. I got 1, I got 2, I got 3, and I got 4. I think there's 5. But yo, I got them. I'm going to read them. Are they good? Should I be reading them tonight? Like, are they that good? Or should I just wait till the last one comes out? So, dude, like, absolutely love comic books. Like, I got a whole slew of comic books here. I do like that Crafts though. Action figure. I know. I like all the Justice League too, like Superman, Batman, Flash, Cyborg, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Green Arrow, Martian Manhunter, and all really good characters. Yeah, for sure. Actually, Off Avenue also says, I also prefer Oracle. Dude, she just, I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't mind Batgirl for what she was, but I don't know. I thought it was cool. Like, because it gave her, like, a whole realm. It made Batman literally rely on somebody. Like, how they used her in the Arkham games was so freaking cool. Like, she was the guy in the chair, you know, like what Ned always joked about in the Spider-Man movies. Like, I don't know. That's me. Bert goes, I've only seen video on it, but it's a awesome Elseworld story. Really cool take on the Batman story. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have them. I think there's 5 or 6 issues. I know it's a limited run. I want to read it. I also wanted to read the Absolute Superman one, but I wasn't able to get my hands on the number 1, so I've skipped it. But yeah. Actually, have you played the Arkham games? I have. Arkham City is my favorite. I've played them all. I absolutely played them all. if I had to rank all the Arkham games, are we just doing the? I'm just saying we're doing the trilogy, right? We're not counting in the new VR game because I haven't played it, and we're not doing the other Arkham. What is it? The Arkham Mansion VR game. I did play that, but it was more like a tech demo to sell the VR. But if we're just going off the three, also not counting Origins, definitely the third one, in my opinion, was the worst. Too much Batmobile. I liked the Batmobile. I thought it was cool. I thought the tank was cool. They definitely shoehorned it a lot more than I appreciate in that. And then, I don't know. I don't want to say they got steadily worse because they were all good, but Arkham City was probably my gameplay favorite one. But I really liked the first story. I loved being in Arkham City. I love the fact that you fought Killer Croc. I liked the fact that you fought Bane. Ending was a little dumb in Arkham Asylum with the whole Joker taking the Titan Serum. And when they killed him in Arkham City, I thought that was a nice twist, but then they turned around, they brought him back again in Arkham Knight. So I had problems with all of them, but I would say Arkham Asylum was probably my favorite just because, like, literally it was the best superhero game, like, ever. Like, that game was so revolutionary that Spider-Man, the Insomniac game, uses the combat system. Never seen before, started a whole generation of, one guy against many fighting systems, and it's impeccable. So that's probably my favorite, and I really love the mystique and the grittiness and the horror of Arkham Asylum. That's why I'm kind of excited for the Arkham Asylum series. I'd like to see what they do with that as well. Batman games made Oracle into Octocon. Crafts, check me on that. My DC knowledge is pretty paper thin. Who's Otacon? Fill me in. I like City Stories. It's good. It's good for sure. And I really liked Ra's al Ghul and Hugo Strange and all that stuff. That was pretty cool. Oh, sorry. All right, let's see. Those first two Batman Arkham games are great. Would love them to be remade. I don't know if I want them remade. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe a continuation. I hate how they should have just left it on the cliffhanger and then left it for 10 years. Like, I hate that they killed him and did all that. There's no need to finalize and kill something. Just have him save the city and he, disappears. Like, he didn't have to blow it up or make this huge hoopla and then put this stinger at the end that literally never came to fruition with the whole, big, scary, bat thing where he's using the fear gas or whatever. Like, I just didn't like what they did there. But it's a really good game. That Killer Croc boss was like a horror movie. Dude, it made me sweat bullets for sure. For sure. Virgo says, did you ever play X-Men Legends? Absolutely. I had both of them. Never have beaten them. I have them still. I have a PS2, and I also have them emulated on my Steam Deck. I need to finish them. I'd like to stream that one someday on my Twitch channel. That'd be fun. I love those games, dude. They're so good. They're still good to this day. And those started and made the Ultimate Alliance games, and those are sick. I'd love to play those again. I would like to play the Marvel, the Ultimate Alliance 3, the one that came out on the Switch. I'd like to play that again, not on a system that can't handle it because it was so glitchy. I'd love them to make a fourth one, or make the third one again, but put it on all the systems or something. Bring it to PC or whatever you want to do. It just didn't run really well on the Switch, and I thought it was an odd choice that something with so many particle effects all over the screen on a system that's equivalent to a PS3 at the time. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the Switch for what it is, but it can't handle anybody else's system. So. Brad Hawk Talk, hey Stug, late to the party. Glad I catch you live. What's up, Brad? Thank you for being here. We are not VOD crew today, but you can catch up. You'll catch up my, I don't know, what was it, guys, 30-minute rant about how I started into collecting figures. That turned into like literally a comic book discussion here, all about Batman, DC, Marvel, comic books. Like, dude, absolutely did not think this crowd was going down that avenue ever. I thought it was kind of exclusively anime stuff, but dude, I'm all for it. I love I love comic books as much as I love manga and anime. So that is my medium. I rarely watch live action TV. It's usually anime and comic book stuff. I'm rewatching Daredevil right now. I'm on season 2. It's the one with Punisher. He just had his outburst in court and is going into Gen Pop to meet the Kingpin. So that's where I'm at again. I'm watching that. I'm debating, and maybe you guys can help me in the chat, because we got several people in here that can help me answer this question. I'm watching Daredevil again, all right? So I'm in season 2. At the end of season 2, before season 3 is when the Defenders happen. Do I need to watch the Defenders again? Like, is it that valid to watch that, or do you think I should just gloss over? So that's my question for you guys. Vote in the comments. Let me know if I should just skip the Defenders or I gotta watch it again. Yeah, I'll have it back up the stream afterwards for sure. We'll have, dude, and that's the thing, guys. Like, if this is your first time here, or if you're just stopping in for the first time and you've gotten this far, we have streamed every Friday in the month of January. So this is our 5th stream, guys. That's crazy. Isn't that insane? 5th stream in a row from January 3rd. So if you haven't, all of those VODs are available. You can go back. You can watch them. So it's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Great support, by the way, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Berta said, would love a Mafex Apocalypse. My favorite Marvel villain. Really? I don't know, man. Can you have a favorite Marvel villain? Like, that's impressive. Like, there's so many good villains. So many good villains. It's kind of hard to tell. Like, in my opinion, who would be my favorite villain? Like, I can't even, like, wrap my head around picking a favorite Spider-Man villain, you know? I don't know. That's a good pick, though. Apocalypse is sweet. I kind of like Mr. Sinister more, in my opinion. But there's just so many, man. There's so many good characters in Marvel. Burgos also asked, what comic book villain would you want and from what company? Absolutely, Burgos, to answer that, it'd be Mafex. I think Mafex do the coolest looking comic book accurate. Dude, I would have to go. I'd have to go Kingpin. I would love a Kingpin. Maybe like a soft goods jacket. With the breastplate and the maybe like the whole suit is soft goods. That'd be sick, like to put with my because I'm gonna get Spider-Man here soon. I've got, I also have Scarlet Spider. I forgot about that. I've got the Ben Reilly original blue hoodie version. Also, I have him in my pile of loot at Big Bad, so I have that one as well. Maybe Kingpin, man. Kingpin would be sick. I have the animated series Spider-Man card. I think I showed that in the 1st or 2nd stream of everything I collected. But getting a Mafex version of him, a deluxe, would be super sick. Brad Hawk says, I'm a fan of talking about numerous topics despite being a hardcore Dragon Ball fan. Dude, you have no idea. Speaking of Dragon Ball, what's your guys' thoughts on Daima? I mean, I know that's probably that's probably divisive, right? Talking about Daima. I already had somebody comment, I think when we had our Daima stream, something like Daima's hot garbage or something. It's like, dude, like, you are fully available to have literally your own opinion. That's super dope. Like, if you don't like Daima, why'd you click on the Daima stream? I mean, I like it. It's not is it my favorite thing of all, like, tentacle things? Super sick. Why does it do this? Okay. Brad also says, don't shun me, but I'm waiting for the dub of Daima. LOL. Hey, that's okay. Hey, that's the thing. Like, the biggest thing, and I've always thought about making a t-shirt on this. Like, there are 2 things that I cannot stand, and that is gatekeeping I do not like gatekeeping. I do not like shunning. Like, if you don't like this, you're wrong, or you don't consume this media right. And then I do not like sub snobs. I hate sub snobs. It doesn't matter. Are you enjoying the medium? Are you enjoying it the way you want to watch it? Like, yeah, like, I don't know. It doesn't matter if they dub it. No. If you like dub, if you like sub, who gives a shit? So, absolutely, I gotta shun you. Enjoy it the way you want. I might watch it again in dub, honestly. I'm just impatient, Brad. That's honestly, like, there's no preference. My preference, if I'm gonna sit down and I'm watching something and it's airing, I'm too impatient because I will get spoiled. 100%. I'm not gonna say the thing that happens, but there's a figure out now. So, Brad, if you already know, I am not going to say it. But a figure was released. I was sent it. It spoiled the episode for me of what happens, and I kind of took the sales out of it. But, like, I don't know. I watch sub for that reason, because it's airing, because I don't want to get spoiled or I lose that, you know, oh my gosh, or that genuine reaction when it does happen. Because then I feel like I'm watching the episode to wait for the thing that's about to happen. That's why I watch sub. But if I'm watching something in the past, like, let's just throw something out. Like, if I go to watch Yu Yu Hakusho again, I'm not watching sub, I'm watching dub. So, Bruno says Kingpin is a great pick. Apocalypse seemed invincible when it was a kid on the animation. Oh, for sure. For sure. Apocalypse is a beast. For sure. Brett says, I'll never understand hate comments. Giving an alternative opinion is fair, but being mean, just be mean. I don't get it. I don't either. Like, that's the thing. Like, if it was like this subject, like, you know, anime, manga, like what we have on the thumbnail, you're in here, we start talking about Daima, you're like, hey, I just don't really like it, and these are the reasons why. Dude, absolutely. Like, throw your opinion out there, see if you get reception, have that nice, healthy debate. But literally, if we're talking about Daima and the title is Daima's on fire right now, don't click on the video. Because who died? Like, really, who died? But maybe after the heart attack with the medicine that they sidestepped in the Android saga. But yeah, like, who knows? Action Figure Avenue says, yeah, I love all the Flashpoint stuff. Yeah, dude, such a cool animated story. Like, maybe one of the coolest animated movies ever. Like, that's where, like, DC was cooking, was in their animated movies, not their live action. The live action kind of faltered here and there. I like a few of them, but yeah, the animated movies are freaking awesome. Action Figure Avenue says, oh wait, no, Brad Hawk, you have to view Daima as OG Dragon Ball, it seems. Yes, like, please do not go into it expecting, you know, Dragon Ball Z level, or I wouldn't even say it's bad as, like, I think it's better than Super. But yeah, it's more fun, more loose. Definitely have an open mind to it. Don't expect Dragon Ball Z like I did. I think it will really skew your thing. They're just too cutesy with it. There's no stakes. There's really no stakes. There's like there's two cool fight scenes. Really cool fight scenes. Everything. The enemy soldiers are kind of forgettable. Like, you know when you had the Frieza Force and they all were like different, like one had a Fu Manchu, one had, you know, one was this alien race, one was that, so there's like variation. That's totally not what they do. It's literally like, I forgot what they call them, like they all look the same. It's this like purple, like big-eared race, but they all look the same, so it's kind of like not interesting. There might be a skinny one and a fat one, but other than that, they all kind of look the same. Brad says power scaling kind of made it impossible to continue the trajectory of Z. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a big thing, because like, when do as a mangaka end it to the point where they don't kill their own profits, because you know that's what it's all about, building the profits, and, you know, keep going forward and not trampling on what you've done before. Like, Z has absolutely has done that. Trampled on their power scaling, trampled on their own lore, where the point where, like, it just needs to end. Sometimes, you know, Death Note did that after L died. If you never watched Death Note, I highly recommend it. Like, it was like a third of the season was just garbage until the end. Like, it just seemed like it's like, okay, you needed to wrap it up in like 2 episodes after that. Maybe Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood didn't, but it was only 60 episodes. So it was pretty short and sweet. It was straight to the point. They did a really well job with that. But any long-standing, Bleach has kind of done that. Even though the Thousand Blood War arc was good, I think it should have ended after the final Getsuga Tensho, where he used all his power to save and defeat Aizen. That would have been the perfect ending. I thought it would have been fantastic, because you had him start as a substitute, go to fight Rukia, which led into the Aizen fight, which led Otohime getting taken to the Hueco Mundo, which he chased her there, and then they went back to the real world, and then that's when the final Getsuga Tensho happened, and I think that was the perfect arc. But then they're like, oh, he lost his powers, but he really didn't. Here's these other powers called Fullbringing. He gets this weird swastika-looking thing on his arm, and he can throw it or something. It just got ridiculous. I just don't know. Naruto kind of did that with bringing Kaguya in. I don't know. Some very long-winded anime. One Piece, I don't feel like they have, but everything seems like they have trampled on their legacy when they go to. Bro goes, yeah, for sure, Brad. I would say the Buu Saga is the few steps below the first couple arcs, and I feel like Daima and Super doubled down on the Buu Saga mistakes. Yeah, for sure. I can see that for sure. Brad Hawk says, how is Sakamoto Days? That has been super popular alongside Dan to Dan. I really like Sakamoto Days. For anybody that wants to watch it, if you have ever seen Spy Family, that's kind of the realm I would expect this first season to be. Very episodic, where it's like, they do this, Hitman tries to kill him. Next episode, they do something different, Hitman comes and tries to do it. That's how it kind of starts, so it's going to be a little bit more meandering. But what makes it special, and which I hope they really nail home, is in those moments, the comedy, the levity, the family building that they have, the cohesiveness. That to me is what really solidifies it, and I'm really scared that the anime will screw it up. I really enjoy it, but after a certain point, won't say it, dude, explode. Like, completely tonal shift. Like, it is violent, people are dying, things are happening, people are getting their hands cut off, people are getting jabbed in the eye, in the eyes, people are getting sniped. Like, it gets crazy. So if you really like, it goes from one shift to another, and I'm really, really enjoying it right now. Like, I think like maybe volume 4 or 5, then it from 5 to 15, man, it's just straight to the moon. It ramps up really hard, but I really like it, and I do like Dan to Dan. Dan to Dan's pretty good. I thought the season that kind of sucked that they ended it when they ended it, because I think Gigi was about to get his powers, and I want to know what happens to that house. That's why I can't wait, which kind of ties back to the whole conversation. I watch the anime, they tell me to stop, so I go into the manga and I figure out what the hell happens, because I'm impatient. That's why I watch Stub. And I just hope nothing else cool happens, so I don't buy the figures, because these figures are expensive. But I definitely, I like Sakamoto Days. It's going to be a little slow, so at the beginning. Brad Hawk says, doesn't One Piece have an issue with keeping most characters around? I think, in my opinion, with One Piece, and if anybody sees this, I'm not trampling on One Piece. I think One Piece has a problem, and I don't know if you want to call it a problem, but almost like how Marvel Comics never kills anybody, or they always come back. Like, I feel like One Piece is really scared to ever end somebody. Opposite of what the MCU does. MCU are killing people left and right. Well, you'll never see this character again. I feel like One Piece is very scared to make permanent decisions, because somebody might come back. And that's not necessarily bad, but it does kind of play with the stakes a little bit. They've only had one character, from my knowledge, to ever truly die and was impactful. If you know anything in One Piece, you probably know who that is. I don't know. I feel like they're scared to really end somebody. And that's why, like, I like it. I look at One Piece as a different experience than like a JJK, a Sakamoto Days, something like that. Like, I enjoy One Piece for just, if I'm sitting down and I had a bad day or a really stressed out day, I'll pick up One Piece, I'll read it, and by the time I'm done with that volume of the manga, I'm literally smiling ear to ear. Like, I just truly enjoy that manga as much as anybody can, just because it's so fun. It's so lighthearted. It's interesting. It has badass fights, badass moments, but it's just fun and it makes me smile. And that's really what it's kind of about. And I think that's the narrative of One Piece. And maybe that's like what your mentality is going into the series is. If you're watching the anime, if you're watching a movie or whatever, like having those expectations and just ripping those away and just like enjoy it for what it is. Just don't try to, like, you know, the big three, One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, don't compare the two. They're all completely different experiences. And I really, if I need a smile on my face, I will literally read One Piece. Except for today, I had to force myself to get through the Foxy arc. Ooh, I hated it, every minute of it. But my body and my mind will not let me just skip one volume of the manga. I want to read it all, and I will read it all. And I just have to grit my teeth to get through that part. So, Burgo says One Piece just had an all-time chapter this week. Dude, I'm excited to get caught up. Like I said, I'm in the Foxy arc. I gotta get through it. I just gotta truck through the mud, but I will be better for it on the other side. It's just not pretty right now. I'm on volume... That was volume 33. I only got 70 more, and then I'm like caught up. And they'll probably add like, I don't know, 15 by the time I'm there. So, yeah. Brad Hawk, being impatient, at least me, you must like it. Oh, dude, for sure. Like, I'm really excited. And just the different avenue of exploring. And that's like, again, like tying it back to the subject. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. It's like I'm getting into these, like I'll try them, like, because I have Crunchyroll. So Crunchyroll, I will always pay for it because there's always those shows I want to watch. You know, Daima, Solo Leveling. Like there's always those. Ooh, excuse me. There's always those things I want to watch, but like at the same time, like when I'm caught up because I'm watching weekly shows, I'll like, hey, what's Dr. Stone about? You know, watch it happen. Maybe I'll get so interested that I'll turn around and get caught up with that one and be like, well, I want to know what happens. I'll go buy the manga. You know, I mean, like, there's such a cool thing and a beauty in that. And like, that's why, like, it's almost transferring where it's like, I go anime, manga. Okay, damn it. I just created a fixation with this. I gotta have the character. And I'm hoping that's not what happens with the Momo and the Okarun. I've heard those have really bad articulation issues and bad choices. So probably won't go down that road, but I haven't read the manga. I haven't got caught up. I really want to see what happens in that damn haunted house. If you guys know what I'm talking about at Gigi's house, I really got to know what happens. I got to. Burgo says, Naruto fell off after Pain. I didn't even like Obito being brought back, let alone Madara and Kaguya. Oh, you didn't like Obito coming back? Whew. I don't know. Burgos, I might have to fight you on that one. I loved Obito coming back. Kaguya was terrible. Like, that was like retconning like in the minute. Like, it made no sense. They completely sidestepped. Like, you know, it's like you're driving down the highway, you know, and all of a sudden you take a left turn. Like, that's completely what she was. Yeah, Madara, I didn't mind Madara coming back, like, when they did the whole, like, resurrection stuff. I thought that was really cool, and the fact that, like, it was him versus the Faikage and stuff like that. But the second they, like, Orochimaru was defeated and all the dead people were going back into their boxes, I didn't like how he was able to resist it. I kind of felt like Obito coming back and doing his moment should have been the moment. Like, I think he should have been the end, carrying Madara's will of fire forward. I think that's where it should have ended. They went too much and almost was like, okay, Obito, like, you made a cool entrance, you have this family tie, you saw Rain die, you kind of, you know, you're fueled by that, you're fuel for the hate of the, you know, the Lane of Fire, and Kakashi really has fueled you to be picked up by Madara and blah 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 blah. Like, all of that I thought should have ended it. Adding Madara undercutting Obito was bullshit, and then Kaguya just seemed like a left lane tie-in that didn't make any sense. So, for sure. So, Brigo says the Foxy arc is brutal. Dude, it's so bad. It is so bad. Like, the fact that, like, they have a boxing match, and then there's Spikes and the big punching machine, and Luffy puts an afro on and paints a skull on his chest and looks ridiculous. Like, it's just dumb. Brad says, I've definitely heard One Piece has some slow and thought to get throw and tough to get through arcs. Sometimes, like, especially if it depends on how you're experiencing. My first experience going through the Alabasta arc, it was really long. There was too much, hey, remember, they were here, but you gotta remember at the time it was a weekly show, like, hey, they were here they go to here, now they did this, they fought this guy, and this is what happened. That was 7 minutes of the show. You get 12 minutes of new, and then you get a drop off. So I think if you're gonna do it, I would read it. I think it's the way Oda writes, dude, he can explain things so easily, and he doesn't retread things over and over again. In the manga, it's easy to follow. It's easy to follow what's going on, the actions, and all of that. I would definitely read it. I think the pace, because now remember, anime started in 1999, so it's the old pacing. Maybe 1 or 2 chapters, maybe 1 or 2, maybe 2, definitely 1 chapter a episode, and that's a slog, especially with all the filler. Or Brad, you could just wait for the One Piece coming out, animated by Wit Studio, so you can enjoy it that way. That way you'll always be caught up, and you can have something to watch for the next 40 years as we grow old and die together. So, but no, so far every arc I have read or watched has been great, except for the Foxy arc. It's bad. So I need to revisit Naruto. I only got a few books into it. Naruto's great. It is. They do tie it really nicely together at the end after all the Madara Kaguya stuff, with Naruto and Sasuke, but it has a dope ass fight at the end. But I'm interested. I'm interested. The same thing, so what I was telling you about, like, the One Piece anime, that's what I've heard about Boruto. I've heard if you're going to enjoy Boruto, don't watch the anime. It's like, I think it's like 70% filler, which is really crazy, because like it's got like, let me look that up. How many episodes does Boruto have? Boruto has 293 episodes, so almost 300 episodes to watch Boruto. It is only 20 volumes long. So you could just think of how much filler, because like, how many episodes does Demon Slayer have? Demon Slayer only has 63 episodes. So it's probably going to end around 80 episodes, I would imagine. 87 eepisodes, maybe 90. Because I would expect the Infinity Gauntlet basically be like 24 episodes, maybe less than that, maybe around 12. So you're thinking like 75 to 90 episodes. Boruto is 20 volumes. Demon Slayer's entirety is 19 volumes. So Boruto literally has 200 episodes of just crap. So it's crazy. Like, so I've heard if you're going to enjoy Boruto, to read it, it's only 20 volumes. And the, the time skip is about to happen, or did happen, and it's called Two Blue Vortexes. And that first volume comes out on Tuesday, and I'm going to pick it up. All right. Where were we at? I need to, okay. Actually, I also enjoy the Injustice storyline. Injustice is cool. That is a cool game and a cool storyline, and I really wish I would have picked up the volumes, the comic books. Red Hawk says, isn't JJK only 3 seasons long? I'm surprised they didn't milk it further. It is two seasons right now. I expect it to be 4, because after where you left off in the anime, you're gonna go through the Culling games, and then after that, then I think it's gonna go. The last season will probably be. It might be like a season 3 part 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of thing, kind of like what they're doing the Thousand Blood War arc. But I would expect probably 2 more seasons, just because you got to go through everything that happens in the Culling game, and then you go into the final fight. Plus whatever they're gonna change, because apparently the ending sucked and everybody hated it, so they bitched at him, so he came back and wrote more chapters or something. I don't know. But you know, who knows? Like, it's probably 4 or 5 seasons. But also the milking further. So the milking they do is more like what they did on Attack on Titan. It's not like Boruto, for some reason, is still getting the Naruto Dragon Ball Z thing where it's like a bunch of filler. But modern day anime, it's more like, hey, we'll give you 12 episodes a year. So like, what would take you 60 episodes would take you like 7 years. Like, Attack on Titan the anime started in 2013 and it ended in 2024. Like, that's insane. Like, 11 years to get through 4 seasons of this show. And I think it's like 33 volumes in the manga. So I think it's just a different way they milk it. You know, they just stretch it out and they're doing the same thing with Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer's on 19 volumes. I don't think it's until 2026 that the first part in the Infinity Castle comes out. And then it's a year after that before they finish it. So like, it's a different way they milk it. I know why they're doing it, because the second they put the final episode or the final movie or however they end it, the relevancy just dies, and people are like, oh, I remember that show, it was really good, and they move on. And you got things like Dragon Ball that will never die. Burrow says everything got crazy with power levels in Naruto, blew up and just made no sense. For example, Hanzo versus the samurai leader. Hanzo was built up to be this great ninja, yet was defeated by a single samurai. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that. I remember what you're talking about. For sure. Burrow says feels like they overpowered and depowered a lot of people from the 5th grade Ninja War. I get what you're saying there. It got a little meandering, got a little too long. I think he lost focus probably a little bit. Red Hawk says, I haven't gotten to the Foxy arc, but I did watch the Foxy movie, LOL. It was meh. Dude, I hate that character. He's terrible. He's terrible. Where are you at, Brad? Are you enjoying the manga? Are you enjoying the anime? Where are you at in it? That's a lot of fluff for Boruto. Dude, 293 episodes? Absolutely. Burrow says, yeah, but you can't skip anything in One Piece. In the future, it will matter and it will blow your mind. Oh, I'm reading that. For sure. Red Hawk says, big recommendation if you want to test out certain mangas without buying the full things yet. Your local library may have a superbly large collection depending on your location. Really? The library carries manga? Interesting. I might have to check that out. I might have to see if my library has manga in it. My wife gets books from the library all the time to read them. So, I mean, but I'd have to go to the library. Do I just stay there and read it? Because it's not going to take me very long to read it, to return it. Bret Hart gotcha. So less episodes, but more spread out. Yeah, that's pretty much how they milk it now. That's just the modern day thing. Because I know the second they bring that out, the series is going to be, it's going to be the next hot thing. You know, because right now, like, everybody's cooling off on Demon Slayer. Like, it seems like when the first season of Demon Slayer came out, everybody just lost their damn minds for some reason. And then now with it is, you know, they've kind of emptied their brain, and now it's this one. Like, I haven't read it, but I got the first volume of it. I'm gonna brutalize this name, Kagura Abachi. That's like the new samurai manga that's coming out that everybody's clamoring that about. This is the only volume. The second volume also comes out on the 4th. This is the next big thing, apparently. I want to give it a shot. I think it looks cool. I haven't read a single thing, but yeah. So if you're interested in Demon Slayer, apparently this is like the next big thing. I plan on reading that. I wanted to wait till Volume 2 came out, so I had a chunk that I could read together. Burrow says it's really impressive that what Oda has done, world building and lore, is on another level. Absolutely, like it is definitely a different experience reading One Piece. There's so much dialogue. There's so much explaining. There's a rhyme and reason for literally everything. It's just it's completely just a different experience for sure. Radhack, for One Piece specifically, I've been consuming the anime. I'm early on like episode 120-ish. One Piece episode 120. What is this? Live. All VODs are available, so if you're just jumping in now or just find me a month from now, you can go backwards in English during summer. Ooh, I want to get I have a few of them. Here it is. Okay. Well, apparently I said a few, and I literally have one, so that's not a few. I literally have one, and it's the first volume of Phantom Blood, Volume 1. I'm halfway done with Season 6. Part 6 with Jolie. So I want to get all these. I'm really excited to get these. I would love to read 7. I would love to read 8 eventually, because I know those are out there as well. But dude, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, if you've never watched it or never read it, if they ever make SH Figuarts of these, I'm in danger, because I love this show and I love this manga. But that'd be another one. I want Jinwoo as a figure. Side note, I know it's supposed to be about figures, but I picked this one up. Picked up Pan. We're starting to put together a plan. I will have more to announce throughout February when videos are coming back and the format. And it really sounds like a lot of you guys are excited for comic book content. I don't know, maybe I'll do some comic book content on here. Really, you guys blew me away with like the comic book talk. It's been crazy. So all right, Brad has a question for us. Please in the chat, answer this question as well if you have your opinion. Do you think the Tamashii Lightning Week free shipping includes pre-orders? I'm tempting fate wanting free shipping on Broly, but that doesn't become available until next week. Probably not. I don't think Broly will be included in whatever promotions they going forward. Now, they've done free promotion because they're trying to drum up opportunity and excitement for the website of Tamashii Nations. But I don't think I think Broly's going to sell by itself. I think that's why they gave it a year. I think they expect to heavily load because a lot of people that are collecting Dragon Ball SH Figuarts in 2025 don't have this figure because it's literally 11 years old. Yeah, so it says all products is super. I don't think this one will be included. I don't think the Daima figures are selling very well, so they give you free shipping on the Super Saiyan Goku. That gave you a free shipping coupon that you could use on Goma or the base Goku. Super Saiyan, the Vegeta figure was free shipping as well. Because I just don't think they're selling very well. I don't think this guy's going to have selling very well. Plus, he's going to be heavy, so it's going to cost Tamashii a lot more to ship this guy. So that's my opinion. I doubt it. That would be a lovely surprise. He's probably going to be open, Brad, for like, a month or two. So if you want to wait, just wait till that week, and maybe we'll be surprised. Maybe we'll get that. I know they ran out of batch 1 of Broly and posted a second listing of him. Really? Already? No. Did they come out different? Oh, I don't think. Get off of Daima. Get off of Daima! I mean, it depends on where you're getting it, Brad, because I'm seeing it here on Tamashii. There's only one listing. I know Japanese websites sold out. but not premium Bandai. It's pre-orders open January 23rd. It comes out January of 2026. You're going to have a little bit, unless they closed. Oh, it does say second run. Oh, you are right. Second batch is delivered. Really interesting. Okay. I don't know, man. So when did the original one come out? When did the first run come out? Is that earlier? Why is this one January? I don't see the original on here at all. Did anybody pre-order it? When does that come out? That is surprising. Huh. I don't know. It's a cool figure, Brad. It's Broly. I mean, it's only $10 for shipping, isn't it? I'd probably just do it, brother. I'd probably just do it. If I was you and you don't have this figure and you're a Dragon Ball Z guy, it's a cool figure. I have the original. Maybe I'll have to go through my boxes and my storage, find my original, and compare it. I might have to do it. The one posted a few days ago said November, but their Instagram said September, so mixed info. Well, if you went to the website and it said November, it's probably, well, no. Yeah, I'm skipping it in hope they reissued. Oh, so you want the green version. I have this one. I want to look at the colors to see if this is brighter and it works better in my collection. I don't know. I'll probably talk to my buddy about it because I think his is out. So I'll talk to him, see what the differences are. But I don't know, man. If it's second run and they've already sold out and they're doing it again, I probably wouldn't wait if you want this figure. I mean, this is, to me, one of the biggest core pieces in Dragon Ball collection. So I'd jump on it if I were you, brother. So, but with that, guys, thank you so much. This has been our 5th stream in a row. We will be back for all, what is that? We got the 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th. We've got 4 streams coming in February. We will be here every Friday from 7:30 CST to 9:30. So if you want to jump in, join, hang out, talk about figures, talk about anime, comic books, manga, whatever you guys want to talk about, we will be here no matter if we're streaming to 100 or 1. We will be here. Come say hello. If you happen to not catch it, all VODs will be available right after the stream. Until next time, guys, thank you so much, Brad. Thank you so much, Action Figure Avenue. Thank you so much, Burros. We got the Sonic, what is it? Lewis came in here. We got the Sonic Tuber, Person Who Exists, Craft Collects. Thank you guys so much for jumping in. Thank you so much. See you guys soon. Until next time, see you in the next one.